Quest to Succeed, Chapter 40. After Reena's demise, Jay's life and living system changed. He lost all interest in his country of origin. There was no social attraction. Both his parents died much earlier. Some loved ones who were close to him also passed away. He could have gone to visit places of interest, but due to health conditions, it was not realistic. His immediate family was divided over 2 continents. A few members had moved to live in North America, and the others continued to live in Britain. Jay loved them equally. He had lived in London for 6 decades. It would not be easy for him to live in a new country. He once visited his doctor and got involved in conversation as 2 social beings. The doctor was aware that Jay loved his children and grandchildren who lived in the United Kingdom and North America. She suggested that he should move to live in Iceland, which was at an equal distance from Britain as well as from North America. Jay circulated the idea to his family, who had their own views. One of his grandchildren wanted him to move to live with them. The other suggested that it was Grandpa's choice where he wanted to live in his old age. He tried to please everyone and divided his time between the United Kingdom and North America. He was very well looked after at both the places. His grandchildren took him on holiday and short breaks. They accompanied him to doctors and hospitals. They did his shopping. When he had his knee replacement, they slept at his house and looked after him. They moved his bed to the ground floor and had a shower built. They provided him hot meal and tea whenever he wanted. He continued to watch news and television programs and films. Still, his life was restricted because of imposition. He did not want to go far and preferred to walk locally and in local parks. When he recovered from the knee operation, he did his own shopping. His grandchildren were there to bring bulky items, especially spring water. Though he enjoyed the company of his children and grandchildren in North America and had acquired a permanent resident status, he realized that he could not live there permanently or stay away from his home in London for a prolonged period. He loved his house and the surrounding areas. His neighbors started to miss him. He enjoyed visiting the supermarkets and small shops, touching and picking food items, especially fruits and vegetables. Every now and then he visited shops and stores in Southall, the center for Asian food and clothing. He also went to Hounslow in the Middlesex County whenever he could and needed to buy articles for daily use. These places also have good restaurants of world standard and provided food and sweets of his liking. Yet he did not visit these places as much as he visited with his wife Reena. After her death, there was a void in his life. There were several reasons for that. They had lived together for half a century. They understood each other and respected each other's views. Jay let Reena win in decision-making. Gradually, as Jay grew older, he started to lose his hair, began to use a walking stick, developed health conditions like diabetes and hypertension. He had hernia operation, prostate operation, knee replacement and abscess removed on a few occasions. He suffered scope many times when his blood pressure went down. The lack of blood circulation led to his unconsciousness. Pollution has increased in Britain and around the world, which has affected people's living and health conditions. Jay's children grew up and moved to live their own lives. He was in touch with his grandchildren. He sometimes imagined if he became a great-granddad, how would his great-grandchildren act and react? What would they say? How would they speak and laugh? He tried to examine from the child psychology point of view. There was hardly any social contact with his siblings. He, however, was in touch with his colleagues and friends, whom he had met in the past 50 years or so. He sent and received Christmas cards every year from them, reviewing the year just past and changes that have occurred in their lives. Some of them attempted to meet once or twice a year for as long as they could. He joined a local gym on the advice of his doctor. This gym aimed to provide physical exercise for people of all ages. Personal touch, individual attention, friendly environment, and other aspects of socialization made an impact on him. It brought smiles and laughter on the faces of those who came to use the facilities. He noticed that the whole environment at the gym was geared to fraternize and mingle with other participants who were strangers only a few days earlier. The group practice in the studio was designed to bring them together for multiple activities, where elderly people walked sideways and did pushes against the wall. The instructors provided individual attention, which brought pleasure and happiness to those who came to take part in different physical tasks. It led to fun and friendship. Involvement in conversation increased pleasure. For most partakers, activities were identified to meet needs based on their health conditions. The instructors endeavored to assist everyone. The improvement in conditions was monitored, as was the lack of amends. It was the social and psychological factors which brought amelioration and betterment in their physical well-being. This was accomplished by creating an environment conducive to establishing trust and understanding between the instructors and the participants, who achieved their personal best through encouragement and motivation. Emphasis was laid on regular exercise, which augmented self-confidence, prevented depression, and reduced stress. It led to control of emotions and increased focus. Meeting others without personal self-interest was the foundation for establishing friendship and developing mutual respect. He lived a simple life. He used to get tired because of diabetes. His memory was still sharp. He could remember minute details of earlier years. He noticed that in this changing world, some people's behavior and dealings hardly ever change.